Hey, what's up everyone, it's Vias here and welcome to the first ever episode of My Team Career Mode in Formula 1 2020. We're getting started right away because we're going to start our own team with our own driver, with ourselves as the boss of the team, and we're going to manage the finances, we're going to manage the team itself, the facilities, our driving, everything that has to do with it, and it's going to be crazy. A lot of management will come into play, and therefore I've created some telemetry tool in order to assist me on that. So we get started right away with our character creation, and from there we're going to select our engine, our team, our sponsors. So yeah, let's start right into it. In terms of sponsors, we've chosen TriStar because it's somewhere in between high risk, but also it's very feasible to do, especially since you're upgrading throughout the entire season. So yeah, let's go with that. So in terms of the engine, we have 4 choices, but yeah, the Ferrari engine of course is going to get nerfs given the Austria performance. Mercedes is a little bit too expensive, but Honda and Renault are very similar to each other, but there's a very big difference in money, so I'm going for Honda engine. In terms of teammate, we have a lot of choices. Mick Schumacher is one of the most popular choices out there. I've been looking for Jack Aiken, but I couldn't find him, as well as Guan Yu Zhao. He seems very consistent, but Nick de Vries does have a lot of awareness, so in case of rains we are more capable of having some solid points where others will be making mistakes, and I think that will be very good for our sponsor objectives, so we're going with Nick de Vries here. So here you can see our final option. We're going with TriStar as sponsor, Honda as engine supplier, and Nick de Vries as teammate, and we're ready to go.
Okay, we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Hello folks, and welcome to the HQ of Formula One's newest team. We've been invited backstage to gain an exclusive insight into what could be one of the most exciting entries in the sport for many years. Now, we've seen a number of new teams enter the sport over the last decade, amongst their number Manor, Caterham, HRT and of course Haas. And while some have proved to be successful, others have morphed into different teams and some have disappeared completely. What marks this team out though as being something different is that its owner is also its driver. Now, there's a rich history of that in Formula 1 too. Sir Jack Brabham, John Surtees, Graham Hill and Bruce McLaren all drove their own cars in the sport, but it has become increasingly rare in recent years. What's very special about this team though is that while the team itself is new to Formula 1, so too is its driver and owner.
Whatever happens this season, you've already made the history books. Tell me, do you feel up to the mammoth task of both managing and driving for a Formula 1 team?
I mean, of course, you don't get into Formula 1 without building a good foundation for your team. So that is our main focus. We want to get the team spirit up high. We can see that once the team gets good, you will perform as well.
Every team needs 2 drivers, but what was it that drew you to your teammates?
I mean, Nick de Vries is a very consistent driver. He's very aware of what's happening around him, and with him, I think we can snatch some points in this season.
No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team you're aiming to beat?
I think at the end of the season, if we can beat AlphaTauri, that will be amazing because they're a Honda-powered engine team as well. So yeah, if we can beat those, that they are a really good standard for us as the end of the season.
How are you expecting the car to feel out on track?
We've done a lot of work in our aero, so the car does feel responsive in terms of what we do. If we can try to battle it out with other cars, we definitely need the aero. So that is what we're focused on.
The other teams now have years of experience, both on and off the track. How are you planning to catch up to them?
Well, of course, the main part is having your engine fit along with your car. So if we can reduce the drag, then eventually, we can gain an advantage on the straights.
Overtaking is a key part of this sport. How have you ensured that your car can take advantage of each opportunity that comes your way?
Well, like I said, if the car behaves like you want it to behave, if the car steers in the way you want it to steer, you can definitely control the cars in tricky situations and get some free places from there.
And finally, which of your new departments are you most proud of?
I think with our work in the chassis department, we can definitely get some drag going, as well as yeah, the aerodynamics.
Well, that's about all we've got time for here. We will see how this fledgling team fares in its first Grand Prix.
So that was our first interview. Very nice to see Will Buxton in there. But now we have to plan in our events. How will we spend our time? And of course, like I said, aero and chassis are our main focus, so that will go into the big slot. And then we still have 5 days left before the Grand Prix after the car reveal, which will be spent to get some additional funding for the team, because we're just starting out. We're getting on the Reddit hype train. We need that initial influx of money just to get our facilities rolling. In terms of our R&D, we can see that our answers in the aero department has really fledged up some of the aero components, but we do want some reliability, because without reliability, if you can't finish, then you can't finish in the points either, so that is very important. We do see on the performance chart that we are ahead of Haas and Williams, so that is great for us. We're very close to the Alfa Romeo and the AlphaTauri. So I hope we can finish ahead of them this season, but we'll have to see. But now, the moment you've been waiting for, this is the car livery. Let's see what the car looks like. Here you go. And there it is, our number 13 green and black car for the Dark Horse Racing Team. The logo also represents the D and the H, so there we have the Dark Horse in a very nice, very cool style in my opinion. But yeah, how does it perform on track? We will find out soon enough on practice, which we are skipping to now.
Hey boss, this is Jeff. Just wanted to say thanks for trusting me as your race engineer. I won't let you down. The car is ready to go, but it's brand new of course, so there may be a few issues here and there. We'll be keeping a close eye on all the data.
Alright, thank you Jeff. Do remember, you've been annoying in the past few games. Now that I'm the boss, it won't be super easy on you.
The track is green right now, so take a few laps to get the tyres up to temperature. Try and feel your way around.
Cheeky burnouts just to hear the engine roar, to hear a car come alive in the Australian Grand Prix. It is really time to see what we're made of. Just listen to this engine. You can hear it purring all the way through the corners. Yeah, it's just a beautiful sound. So on the top of your screen you can see our telemetry compared to Sergio Perez, who probably hasn't even gone out of the track yet. So we're doing a...
Watch your MFD for the activation point.
Thanks Jeff. So we're doing the track acclimatization. So far I wasn't really sure how to handle the car yet, because it's the first time me driving Formula 1 2020. As well as this car being not as level packing as, say, a Red Bull that I'm used of in my previous career season. But so far, I do notice that the car does try to behave in the way that I try. But there are definitely some mistakes that need some ironing out.
Head on back to the garage and we'll start going over the data.
So if we look at the telemetry in detail, we do see that we have some pace deficit compared to Carlos Sainz. Well, that's obvious because Carlos Sainz is in the McLaren. But if we compare the inputs between me and Sainz, then we can see that Science does brake a lot later compared to what I do. So this means that I should be a little bit more ballsy in terms of trying to brake as late as possible, get some more speed into the corner, but yeah, still try to maintain a racing line that you can maintain that speed and get some free tenths out of there. So let's see what we can do later on, and yeah, let's go to quali and see if we can learn from our mistakes. Alright, qualifying has started. Telemetry has been reset. Currently with Sergio Perez as our opponent. That will surely change because I don't think we'll be competing with him anytime soon. So our first lap of qualifying. I do feel a lot more confident on these tires since they're reds instead of yellows or whites. So we should be able to set some decent time here. I have to say the car felt very confident in the corners. You can really steer it around the way you wanted to, but maybe I should have added a little bit more front wing in terms to compensate for mistakes like these, where it did not feel like I should be braking much later or much earlier, because that will be a pace deficit. Our second round of qualifying, see if we can improve. We already gained out of braking zone. So braking later does help with our pace. But then we make some silly mistake in that corner, similar to what Lewis Hamilton did trying to overtake Sebastian Vettel a few years ago. But we do learn from this mistake, and we gain a free 4 tenths. Yeah, that's just free time. Thank you very much. So we do improve our time a little bit. But yeah, if we compare our times with what Nick de Vries is doing, then we do see that I'm a little bit sloppy going out of that corner. And with braking points, I'm pretty much level on pace with Nick de Vries. So that is a good sign. It just means that I need to work a little bit on my racing lines, a little bit more on the consistency, and then I should be good to go. So yeah, let's start our final lap of qualifying. I don't think we'll get into Q2, but yeah, let's make it a run worth going. The start is pretty good. We already gained a few tenths. And into the final corner, we gain that lead just slightly more. The track has been rubbed in a little bit more, and it is about 2 tenths improvements, and that brings us to P19. Out of 22 runners, I think we're ahead of the 2 Williams as well as our teammates, so I think this is a very good sign. So yeah, our team acclaim gets boosted a little bit from that. If it gets level 2, I think we unlock a new sponsor, so that's good as well. But yeah, let's see how we do in the race.
It's finally time once again to begin what promises to be another thrilling season of Formula One action. Pre-season times, subject of so much discussion in recent weeks, mean nothing now, as the cars line up to battle it out for points once again. So let's get this season underway. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. Can Mercedes start with victory in their bid to win a 7th consecutive Constructors' title? Could Ferrari early on? And with 22 cars on the grid, how quickly can the new team find their footing? Well, it's great to be back, Anthony Davidson. We've got a lot to talk about this year.
That's right, Crofty. It felt like a long winter, but it's good to finally be back. I have to think the usual suspects will battle it out at the front, but there are always going to be some teething problems early on in the season, so whoever can keep on top of their issues will have the advantage today.
As I mentioned earlier, we're up to 11 teams this season, with a new entry run by, well, of all things, an owner-driver. That's something we haven't seen in this sport since Hector Abac over 4 decades ago. So how are they looking so far?
Ever since their participation was announced, there were questions being asked about whether an outfit like this could survive, and certainly it's proving to be a trial by fire so far. Let's hope they can continue to draw in investment and find a little more pace as well.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Albon, Ricciardo, Sainz, Norris and Sergio Perez, Stroll, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi and Raikkonen, Gasly, Magnussen, Romain Grosjean and Daniel Kvyat, Red, Russell, De Vries and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Well, there you have it. It's fully confirmed. We are standing ahead of the teammate and the 2 Williams. And for our strategy, we're going to try something very risky because you don't get into Formula 1 by playing it safe. It's 5 red lights and it's out, and we have a decent start, and actually we have a much better start, and together with the overtake button we have to play this safe. We don't want to crash into turn 1, so we slot in behind Magnussen, have a little look at the outside, but something is holding up the entire queue, and that is a big cap already to the front pack. So yeah, we have to try and defend against Magnussen, but no, it's too risky. So we slot in behind, and maybe we can follow Gasly around, and there we go. We actually steal the spot away from Magnussen. So for now, it's actually a pretty good start, and Gasly's going a little bit wide, taps us a little bit. But no, that makes us lose 2 more places, and no, we're having none of it. Russell gets completely blocked off. Thanks, Jeff. It's somewhat going okay. But now we have to push. We have to push to get back to the queue, and we make another mistake. Yeah, and that is the spot from Russell. That is such a rookie mistake. But hey, we're still rookies in Formula 1. When things get heated, I guess we still need to practice a little bit on that. But yeah, the chase is on. We have to get Russell. We have to get Magnussen. We do feel like we can get them. So later on in the lap, we do get a yellow flag. Something's up ahead. What is going on? I still don't see anything. Oh, people are slowing down. It's Norris with an engine failure. Did we make the right choice not to pick the Renault engine? Well, we don't know yet. Race is still long, but for lap 2, already breaking now, that is not a good sign for Renault. But yeah, it's still very close now between Magnussen and Russell. That engine failure of Lando Norris actually got us close to Magnussen. So now we can get the slipstream, get the tow. See if we can... no, I thought better of it. Overtaking it is risky, especially if you're from behind, but yeah. We have to slot in. We have to try to get Magnussen, beat him on raw pace, see if that works out. The straights we do seem equal, but I'm still losing a lot more time over the laps. We can see we're already 1.4 behind, 1.0, 0.4, so we're kind of catching up, but the chase is on. And Leclerc has crashed, spun, Spinella, something like that. We get a free position for that. I wonder if Leclerc has front wing damage, because if he does, then he could be another back marker that we're trying to compete with. But yeah, the Ferrari being super strong, as Leclerc's AI being super strong, is going to be very difficult in the first place. But we do rob Magnussen out of his position because it was caught off guard with Leclerc. And we're trying to take full advantage of that. So this is what happened with Leclerc. He came out of the pits on fresh sauce, and the AlphaTauri just clips him. Yeah, that's just over. I didn't see anything break off, but yeah, this is just a slight touch, and there's a big Spinella, and well, there you have it. He has to climb all the way back now, and that was my teammate you saw, so he still has some traffic to go. But what you can see on the front nose, there's no damage, so we can progress with our race and have to fear of a Leclerc coming back later on. But once we do get close to Russell, he gets into the pits. But yeah, we still get a DRS. We still get the the fast straight and the straight after. So now we have to hunt. We have to survive on these tires. Getting a little bit scruffy. We do plan to pit in on around lap 18. And from there, oh, Leclerc is already coming close. I do want to work with him, so I give him the room. He can just turn in, but he waits for us to accelerate. Yeah, that costs us both a lot of time. These are fresh stops. I still have to pit for my first stop. Yeah, that is not as pleasant. And you can just see the tire wear. It's tremendous, and Leclerc is already off in that distance just in the span of 2 corners. So that is just crazy. So it's both the car performance and our tire performance. Yeah, it's crazy. And Nick de Vries now retires from a mechanical issue. That's so unfortunate. And in the meantime, we have a pink Mercedes chasing us down since we are so out of sync with the rest of the Grand Prix. I decide to let him go. It's not my fight to fight. We only can lose time. I only can lose tire wear. And that is not something I want at this stage. And there's the yellow flag. We can see Nick de Vries, and I'm so focused on him. I go wide, but yeah, that is Nick de Vries retiring over there. Mechanical issues, very unfortunate. I hope we don't get that during the race. If the player can get random issues, we'll have to see. But later on, we still have to fend off from the Alfa Romeos that are chasing us. And as you can see in the blimps there, we're almost at 80% tire wear, so that is punctured territory. So yeah, I try not to fight them as well, but Kimi Räikkönen comes in, gives us a little nudge, like, hey, come on, speed up, I don't have time for this. But yeah, we do try to go side by side. I don't want to lose time. That is the most crucial part, because our tires can eventually perhaps challenge them. However, they are P7, so maybe not. But for now, we do have to try something. And this is our cue to come in. Lap 17, we want to go in at lap 18, so let's just dive in the pits and see how we did for now, and see how we can fend off against the rest with soft tires. Or did they pit for Haas? They did pit for Haas, so us coming 2 compounds fresher should already give us a big advantage. On the minimap you can see the battling going on. They are entering the straights now. The AlphaTauri already entering the straights. Yeah, 74% tire wear. I couldn't find the clutch button. Normally it was A, but now it was the upshift button, so that was a rookie mistake as well. It cost us a little bit of time. So currently we are behind Daniel Ricciardo for some reason. Something has happened to him during the race, as well as Romain Grosjean. But yeah, the chase is on now for the final 10 laps, 11 laps of the Grand Prix. We have to chase down these guys. We have to get those positions, end up in a high note, and boost the team's confidence this way. A bit of a tank flapper here, but we are chasing Grosjean. We have the ERS, Rich Mix, DRS, and we perfectly line them up here, so if everything favors us, we could overtake him. And there we go to the outside, and not really a conventional place to overtake here on the outside, but we do make it work. Nah, that was a great overtake, and here you can see the replay. Side by side, we both leave each other the room. Very clean racing. We just have a lot more traction because of the 2 compounds, and there we go. Next up is Ricciardo. I'm not sure what happened to him. It's probably the curse of the home race. And again, we line him up here. Can we get him overtaken at the end of the straight? Maybe. We're having a look. Go to the outside, and there's a dive bomb. There's a Ricciardo on Ricciardo. And we do make it work. There's a clean race, a slight tap. There we go, we're ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Next up, Magnussen. We have to make this work. We have to get the positions. Magnussen goes defensive. That will compromise his exit. We get a clean exit here, but it's just as powerful on the straight. We are slightly faster according to the telemetry, but somewhat equal pace. And it is a dive on the inside. We just barely made it work, but we did make it work. Now it's just Russell up ahead. That is P16 for us. Russell for P15. Can we make that work? The Williams is one of our competitors that we're trying to beat here. And yes, just on the straight, 2 compound softer. There you go. But now the next stop is Gasly. We're trying to chase him. We are faster on the softs.
Is 2.4 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:27.6. You're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap.
1.4 seconds a lap, but our tires are heavily degrading because it's the end of the Grand Prix. We're already a lot of time on these softs. And as you can see, 2.3, 2.4, 50% tire wear already. We're trying to chase him down, but it's 2.7, and eventually, well, we just couldn't catch him, sadly. But that's okay. It's already a P15. It's an amazing result, and I will gladly take that.
Take care of the car on the way in.
You could be a little bit more happy for us, Jav. It's P15 on our debut race. Daniel Kvyat does get driver of the day, though. I think he started P18 and ended up P12, so yeah. I mean, that is deserved to win.
Victory for the Silver Arrows.
There you go. Mercedes wins this race. Pops the champagne, just like Lando Norris did during the Austrian Grand Prix. Currently, it's a Mercedes dominance. From all the other YouTubers I've seen, it's mainly a Ferrari dominance, but of course Leclerc had that really weird spin, else he probably would have contested for a race win. But yeah, sadly, Lando Norris and Nick de Vries both DNFing. It doesn't really bode well for our reliability, so maybe we do need to spend a little bit on that. But yeah, our sponsor objective is to get 2 points finishes, so we do need to take some risk. How that will pan out is up to the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and if you really enjoyed this, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, hit that like button, and hit the bell if you want to see more, because there's more Formula 1 content coming, and I hope to see you then. And until then, I wish you all a good day, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.